Welcome, everyone. The community energy or energy community or community immunity. Community immunity increases as the community energy increases. That's a simple equation. If the community is energetic, it's likely to be able to handle stresses. The community is based of all the friends and the family. And the friends and the family come back to yourself. So if we individually, we strengthen ourselves, it's our individual responsibility to keep getting stronger and stronger on a physical level, mental level, and all that stuff. But how does that happen in the body? The body talks about that in terms of energy currency. What's the energy currency in the body? And that is ATP. ATP is adenosine triphosphate. Don't worry about what ATP means. ATP, all capitals. And that's what's produced by the mitochondria. And many times, if there's a situation where the ATP is not produced enough, it leads to fatigue, it leads to lack of immunity, it leads to disease, it leads to a lot of chronic issues. And that is a factory. Ultimately, it's a factory system that does not work properly. And this can happen from inflammation, this kind of a lot of other things. When we increase the capacity of our factory to produce more ATP, it really increases and strengthens our immune system. The simplest way to think about this is supposing there are more factory workers. If the capacity of the factory is, say, 100 workers, but you put 150 and employ them properly, now the productivity can increase. So number and the size. The size of the mitochondria also determines how well they work. And one can do all of this in a simple way we are doing this regular exercising. And some of the other things that are very interesting that increase the mitochondrial function, believe it or not, is not only good food, like we have the fresh fruits, vegetables, and things of that nature, and cruciferous vegetables. One that are like, for example, broccoli, and those cruciferous, like cauliflower, for example. That's another example. These are called cruciferous vegetables, and these increase the function of the mitochondria. Also, cold exposure. You expose yourself to cold a little bit more. It's okay to be cold. Cold shower, for example. Cold shower versus hot. And fasting is another interesting thing. When you fast, it increases the activity of the mitochondria. Now, they are also highly sensitive. The mitochondria are sensitive to some changes that happen to us in the body. And when they are threatened, when the body gets threatened, they go into a mode which is called cell danger response, CDR. Cell danger response is a response where mitochondria get paralyzed. They don't function as well, and the normal function goes away. That's inflammations of different nature. And inflammatory, that causes a response at the level of the cells. And the energy production suffers, restricts the energy part, restricts the immunity, and so on and so forth. Now, particularly if the CDR can be small, it can be for a certain period of time, but it can be long. If it's a prolonged CDR, cell danger response, the danger is there, and one continues to have problems, now you have a really issue. Chronic fatigue syndrome, for example. Now, what are the various factors? Chemical factors, environmental factors, microbial infection, stuff like that can trigger this CDR, cell danger response. Chemical toxins has been pollution in the air, water, We are aware of that in food. Excessive and some heavy metals, they cause this stuff. And also emotional stress. That's what we are concerned about most. That happens more commonly than heavy metals, obviously. And emotional stress and any kind of trauma that we experience. Unless we shield ourselves, we get into this CDR, cell danger response. And cell danger response is a generalized response. It happens in every mitochondria in the body. And they can be, go into the, what do you call that, as a hibernation of the energy production. And that's not good. So we have to do a couple of things. We have to maintain the energy level. We have to maintain the functioning of the mitochondria by doing the stuff that we talked about: exercise, proper diet, and breath work. Breath work also has known to increase the energy production and proper utilization. So these are all the various factors that we talk about in mitochondrial health. Community immunity increases as the community energy increases.